Exactly. I'm constantly tripping over stones. I don't have a level surface. It's driving me potty. It's just come to a point now where I just think I have to do this for my own sanity.
Hundreds of hours, late nights, blood, sweat, and tears. Built not bought, a dying breed.
So what do we have here? Got some sand, got some paving stones, got a whacker, and we have some builder sand. All the hallmarks of a man going doing a bit of a patio. But it's not a patio for a house. It's a patio for a workshop. And I know what you're thinking, Paul, you're going stone crack this time. What are you doing putting a patio in front of the workshop? But I have my reasons and I'm going to go through them. I've been doing a bit of fabricating here and it's been good. Do you know, I've got the welder inside, I've got the gas, everything I need is inside, the two doors fold out, and I kind of have myself set up that I have tools and stuff hanging on the doors. It's all cool. What's not cool is, exactly. I'm constantly tripping over stones. I don't have a level surface. It's driving me potty. And anyone who's done any bit of fabrication at all will know a level surface is key. So while I still have some steel up here, I have loads of work to do here, but it's just come to a point now where I just think I have to do this for my own sanity. I looked into the options of putting down gravel. That's still not going to solve my problem. I can put down concrete, but to be honest, a couple of reasons why I'm not going for that. I'm just not ready to commit, really. I just don't know what's going to happen with this area in time. So, and actually I worked out the paving, bar the labour, it's actually probably half the price of concrete with the way concrete's gone at the minute. And I'm also, I suppose, I want a bit of a challenge. And my plan is that I'm going to do a lot more filming here. I've been doing some. But I'm going to get a nice sign that's going to hang up here and feature in my videos. I'll have this nice paved area, even though I'll be cutting and doing stuff on it. But we can put down some rubber matting. I also need a large place where I can photograph the likes of welders when they arrive. I have a little tent inside in the shed there, but for large items like generators and welders, I need some place that I can photograph them. So when I have my door here on the generator, I can close my container doors, and I'll have another door here, and it's got some natural light. I can put some additional lights here. I just have a nice space. So that's my plan. Crazy as I know, but so bit of labour we've got to put in. Basically, I have the edge of the generator frame is going to be my guiding edge along this side. I've put in this timber. I secured it in place with a bracket, and I've got another kind of wooden bracket here, and there's just a gentle slope on that so that any water will be taken away. So my first job is, the first bag is quarry screenings. I'm going to use that to bring it up to, so that the paving slabs are about 40 mil. I'm going to put about 40 mil of lean mix of builder sand with cement, and the rest of it then has to be the quarry mix. And interesting thing to note, I was buying these bags because they're handy and I don't have enough space to tip a full lorry load. I was buying these bags in the local hardware, and if you go to the quarry, so I've got all this stuff in Roadstone, and it's over half the price. Now, Roadstone is a nice journey from here, but I had to go there for the paving stones, so always shop around. So, yeah, we'll crack into it. We've got our trusty Kubota for the moving the sand. Unfortunately, my van has starter stopped working, so that's a job for tomorrow morning. But this evening, it's get this all leveled up and ready for paving. Now, by way of a little break, I need to figure out how far to fill to. And I just remembered that there's something that Sola sent me that I never got a chance to try, and that's their own chalk. I would have used their own chalk lines, but I sold out. I'm more on the way, but we'll use this one. But and in case you're wondering, I am the agent for Sola in Ireland. That's why I use all their tools. So I don't have any sponsorship. So anyway, that's 40, and I plan to put another 40 of lean mix underneath it. So I need to mark down 80 from the top of the timber, and I'm going to put a chalk line along there. And I recently seen a tip for filling your chalk line that I never knew about, and that is you're going to put it out a good few meters, and then put the chalk in, and then wind it back in, rather than putting all the chalk in and hoping that that'll get to the string. So that's what we'll do. So now I've got chalk inside the chalk line. I've got it everywhere else, but anyway, it's full. And just as I look at it now, this chalk, even though it comes from Austria, it's made in the USA. So it's American chalk as opposed to Far Eastern chalk. We'll see how it goes. So now we have a line to work to. So, got that bag of stuff emptied and more or less levelled. So now I've got to just finish off at the end here what I want to do. So I've got this piece of galvanised box that I'm going to cut to length. Quick cut with the grinder, but sure, any opportunity to use my power hacksaw. We'll get to that in a minute. So basically, I'm going to stop short here at the edge of the generator shed just before these two pipes. Purely because there's a bit more civil engineering to go on before I'm ready to. They have to go into a sump that I haven't even time to go at yet now. So we'll put this galvanised box across here. And then, as I was doing this, I was thinking, so it's kind of tricky to use this saw without a roller or two. So I'm going to cut this bit of 90 by 90 galvanised box in half. And I'm going to put a socket here and a socket roughly in the middle that I can make some sort of fixture like this with a roller and have two positions for it. Bit of redundancy, might never get used, but if it's there, it's much easier. And also, if I have one out at the edge here that's fairly deep, sometimes you have jigs for bending and stuff that you need to have in the ground, so that'll be there. So we gotta dig some holes and cut some steel. And so, with the old dug, we've got the box section cut. Now it's go time to get an old friend in hibernation. You see, some mixers live a wholesome life in everyday use, but mine tends to go into hibernation in the winter, so we have to wake it up. It's very hard to push one-handed. And for those of you that don't know, there's only one way to get your mixer up. Watch carefully. So there you have it, no need for hernias, very simple. Of course, the mixer has got it up, you've got to turn it on. Oh well, never did like these things anyway. Turn out, will ya? Tappity tap tap tap. So I can't find my phone, so welcome to the GoPro. So we've everything set up. Got a stop piece, we've got a piece of timber here for a guide on one side, we've got the tray of the generator shed on the other. We're basically putting in a lean mix, so it's not wet and it's not dry, it's somewhere in between. I've got these little aluminium pieces on my piece of timber here, so that I'm just 45 millimeters below this timber here. And my thinking there is that the tiles are 40. I'm going to put a little dab of wet cement, wet mortar underneath each slab, so that will bring me up to 40. Hopefully, we'll know in a minute when I get a bit more stuff in here. We can trial one of the slabs. That's it. So away we go. Now, as with everything, there's always a bit of learning. So what I had done was I had set the stick to 45 millimeters below the edges of the form, and I was using some very wet stuff then to kind of blob underneath the paver. But unfortunately, when you went to tamp it, then one will split. So we were ditching that idea, and we're just going with setting this back to 40, and just going lovely. Just pull it, scatter in a bit where you see it's light, tamp. It was working perfect, so we'll stick to that plan. We'll not overcomplicate it. So now we're about 2/3 of the way through the job, and there's been some learnings. I'm going to show you them in a second, because I'm going to go set up the camera down at ground level and you'll see. But basically just the way I level the stuff, I had an idea where, I mentioned this already, I had an idea where I was going to like lay the slab or the paver down into kind of some wet mortar. No, it's going to break pavers, that's the way to go. No, you need to be sitting in a bed of what we call lean mix. So almost dry cement, dry concrete, and then we're going to wet it all down afterwards anyway. So got some cutting to do here, and I probably should have started this door up beforehand, but we'll cross that bridge later on. But yeah, I'll set it up now and you'll see my process. A bit low now, for my liking. Now, so I am almost there. It's actually, yeah, you know, when I got the swing of things, it's not actually as bad as I thought. Like all things, I probably overthought. But I did break a few along the way, and there was places where I thought I'd get, say, along here when I cut them, I'd get to be straight in half, but that wasn't to be. So I've got 2 more to put in here to cut. And then this is going to have to wait till maybe tomorrow evening until I get some more paving stones. So I'll just show you the cutting process. So all I've done is using my tape and my Sharpie, marked a line along the stone, and use my bit of flat bar here as a straight edge. I'm using my trusty 9-inch grinder with diamond bit for a couple of reasons. Don't have a diamond blade for the console, I don't like the console for record work. I think it's just noise and everything just distracts you. So I like me 9-inch angle grinder, and the key is to let the grinder do the work. Nice and gentle, although I find the paving stones aren't as dense as concrete. A few men over the years I've lent angle grinders to, and they've burnt them out in concrete. So if someone is borrowing your angle grinder, ask them what they're cutting. If they're cutting concrete, they can go and fake off. But anyway, it's nice and soft, so I'll show you here now. So that's it. Nice clean cut. Yeah, this one has to be cut twice, so I'm going to spin around and do it the other way. Now I kind of fell victim to something that happens to me all the time. I kind of get a bit excited and I want to get going. So I forgot, on this side I'd cut off the two bottoms of the container locks so that the door can come out over the paving area. So I didn't do that, so I've got to cut them off now and then reset these 3 paving stones. But anyway, I've learned a bit since I was at that spot here today, and there's a rubber on the bottom of the door that also needs to come off. Have to figure that one out yet, but yeah, almost there. Not so bad. They'll never know. How would they know? Now, the test is going to be see if the door opens. Genuinely haven't done it, and this could be no shit moment. Both doors come off, cut an inch off them. Yeah, so does the door open? There's one rabbit left there, but yeah, it does swing. It does swing, which is good, because it was going to be a disaster if it didn't. But yeah, a few more pavers and we're good to go. Now, so it is the next day and we just have these last few bits to do. So I went ahead and picked up some stone or some paving stones. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just concrete in this piece here, because this is going to be for a post for like bending stuff. So better if that's concrete in itself. Now, so we are almost finished. So I concreted in around my socket in the ground. I did mess up though. I ran out of plain slabs. So I kind of cheated. I had 2 offcuts here. Look, I suppose I'll probably run it. So there's going to be a wall here. So I'll probably run an entire full slab here in time. That's only held on with tech screws. So I'm happy with that. And there's only sand underneath that part. And then up here then, I kind of finished it with the container with a bit of sand and cement, and I brushed, or I troweled that there on my edge trowel. Of course my battery ran out when I was trying to film all that. And then the final part of the process now is going to be the grouting. So I'm going to use this stuff here, Joint Tech. I also got this from Roadstone. So according to this, we wet it, and then you pour in your stuff, you brush it in, job's good, and wet it again. So we shall see. So now we're at the end of the paving job, and I'll just show you the finished product. by way of a wrap up. And I suppose one of the key things is I came up with this idea because the price of concrete basically is gone mental. I've probably seen some second-hand paving stones on Marketplace or adverts and had a little idea to myself. Ultimately, it probably ended up more expensive than concrete, but I'm not sorry about that. But we'll get into it. So there she is, finished off. I have the epoxy, what do you call it? Epoxy grout fitted. Don't know what I go for that again. Cost about €50 to do that there. And for something that may be temporary in nature, probably there's killing the right sand out there as well. But anyway, it looks the part. It's relatively flat. I won't say like pool table flat, but good enough for a man who's never paved anything before. But ultimately, the acid test for me is, so one of the founding principles of this whole project is that I want to be able to roll everything on wheels. So if I wanted to move something from the diesel tank here over to the far into the shed through the container, I want it all to be one surface. Not necessarily level, but that it's a surface that casters can travel on. So here is a fine big welder. As you can see, not a bother, rolling away. So to me, job is complete. Because what I wanted to be able to do was, I wanted to be able to pull the van up fairly close to the edge of the slab here, edge of the paving. If I've got a welder, I can use ramps to get it up into the van. I obviously have to move this crap out of here, but that's the next on the list. But now I can do that because we've just been appointed agents for Oxford welders, and I want to be able to swap out this welder, possibly even sell this welder, and be able to substitute in various models of welder, do a bit of a test here. I can also now, when I close up these doors and I give them a bit of a paint, there'll be a sliding door here, and there's going to be a sliding door here, and then I have a nice paved area, so kind of a nice backdrop for photographing new equipment that comes in. I have a photographic tent inside in the garage, but not good enough for big stuff. So yeah, I'm immensely happy, and I can start fabricating in this area. I will put down some protective rubber. The nice two-tone effect is really for when I'm photographing stuff on the floor. So put down some rubber, maybe some protective plywood and that for when I'm welding and grinding. But yeah, no. Hit me up in the comments to let me know what you think. Would you have done it? Would you not have done it? And like and follow for the next one. So we're going to be moving on to finishing the shed. I also have a video due about the sheeting of the sheeting and cladding so far, but there's a few little bits to finish on that, and I'm trying to have videos where I complete things. So anyway, till the next time, thanks for watching.